When networks wager their fortunes on misguided visions, the fallout is spectacular. Star wattage and lavish budgets can't salvage doomed premises. One Civil War farce ignited outrage before its debut, limping to just 4 televised episodes. Another thrust insurance mascots into leading roles, only to be declared dead on arrival by critics. A third, spun from the most cherished wartime comedy ever, plummeted from ratings triumph to abrupt axing in record time. These flops etched such notorious legacies that they remain cautionary tales decades later. Number 10, My Mother, The Car. In September 1965, a sitcom emerged that became the ultimate jest in TV lore, enduring only until April 1966. Titled My Mother, The Car, it lingers in infamy for all the wrong reasons. Its premise was bizarre enough to halt viewers in their tracks. A man discovers his deceased mother reincarnated as a loquacious 1928 Porter automobile, dispensing life counsel via the dashboard radio. NBC banked on quirky charm. Critics recoiled in disbelief, deeming it absurd. Amid the 1960s whimsical sitcom wave, think Bewitched or My Favorite Martian. This crossed into sheer lunacy, leaving adults torn between guffaws and channel flipping. By 2002, TV Guide crowned it the second worst show ever, outdone only by The Jerry Springer Show, a non-sitcom. Led Jerry Van Dyke, who spurned Gilligan's Island for this, rued his choice lifelong. His 30-episode stint chatting with a car a career-altering regret. Audiences shunned it, ratings trailing rival comedies, yet its abysmal legend ballooned, the title alone sparking chuckles as shorthand for misbegotten creatures. It's a perennial mention in Worst Show Rundown, not for malice, but for a concept so outlandish it defied gravity. Its failure, a decades-long punchline. Number 9. Homeboys in Outer Space. Launched in 1996 on fledgling UPN, this show's title alone prompted double takes. Picture two pals cruising the cosmos in a rickety space hoopty, clad in hip-hop flair, tossing quips and chasing extraterrestrials. Aiming for wit and edge, it flopped spectacularly. Critics savaged its shoddy look, forced gags, and stereotypical leads, branding it bizarre, sloppy, and mortifying. One review likened it to a lunch break fever dream. Viewers concurred, abandoning ship swiftly. By 1997's cancellation, its single 21-episode season fizzled, ratings in freefall. UPN's mid-90s push for African-American audiences burst hits like Moesha and Star Trek. Voyager, but this misfire became a glaring lesson in reckless ideation, landing on TV Guide's 50 Worst Shows list, its mere mention evoking uneasy laughs. Number 8. Work It. In 2012, ABC unleashed a sitcom so jarringly misguided it seemed unreal. Work It, yanked after 2 episodes, centered on 2 men posing as women to secure jobs amid a recession, aiming for bosom buddies charm, but landing in a quagmire of dated gender jests. Critics eviscerated it, Metacritic scoring a dismal 19/100, Rotten Tomatoes a stark 0% at debut, reviewers aghast, ABC aired it. USA Today's Robert Bianco called it dreadful beyond comprehension. The New York Post simply dumb. LGBTQ+ advocates decried its men in dresses punchlines as harmful. Viewership nosedived from 6.2 million to 4.9 million in a week, prompting ABC's January 13, 2012, axing. Only 2 of 13 filmed episodes broadcast. In a bizarre bid, ABC's promos flaunted scathing reviews, labeling it offensive, reprehensible, to no avail. It became a go-to example of sitcom disasters, a critic noting its lasting infamy as a textbook flop. Number 7. The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. In 1998, UPN's pre-air announcement of this comedy sparked fury. Centering on a black English nobleman turned Abraham Lincoln's butler during the Civil War, its premise, mining slavery for laughs, incited protest from the NAACP's Los Angeles chapter and African-American groups. especially over a pilot's reported gallows gag. UPN swapped the debut episode to quell outrage, but the concept itself was fatally flawed, lacking the nuance to handle such weighty history. Upon airing, it tanked. Critics slammed its crude shock tactics, one calling it a lewd, dumb sitcom. Ratings ranked 116th of 125 that week, and after 4 episodes, UPN shelved it, 5 of 9 filmed episodes unshown. The network head's bafflement at the backlash hastened his exit. Creators later claimed it aimed to satirize 1990s political scandals a la Clinton, but the Civil War backdrop obliterated intent, rendering it a crass misstep mocking historical pain. Number 6. Caveman. In 2007, ABC's baffling gamble transformed Geico's quirky caveman ads into a sitcom, following 3 prehistoric pals navigating modern San Diego. Pitched as a stereotype-busting buddy romp, it flopped from the outset, curiosity-driven viewers fleeing after one tired joke. Only 6 of 13 episodes aired before cancellation, critics merciless. The Chicago Tribune listed it among the 25 worst shows. The New York Post dubbed it extinct on arrival. And the New York Times' Gina Bellafont lamented its microseconds of narrative reasoning. Its attempt at social commentary via cavemen as marginalized proxies felt clumsy, often offensive. The heavy makeup and slapstick stretching a 30-second ad into 22 agonizing minutes. It endures as a warning against spinning commercials into series, the Geico Gecko wisely staying in ads while these cavemen became a national jest. Number 5. Aftermash. Post-1983's historic MASH finale, the most-watched TV event then, CBS's Aftermash spin-off debuted with Colonel Potter, Klinger, and Father Mulcahy at a U.S. Veterans Hospital. Initial ratings soared on MASH nostalgia, but a time slot shift against NBC's The A-Team proved fatal. Sans War's urgency and full ensemble. It dulled. Critics called it emotionally hollow. One quipping that swapping battles chaos for suburbia yielded nothing watchable. By late 1984, 9 episodes into Season 2, CBS axed it as ratings cratered. TV Guide's 2002 7th worst ranking stung, nixing planned Radar spin-offs. An Emmy nod for directing couldn't save it. Klinger's nun-costume stunt signaled desperation. Aftermash now warns against unworthy sequels, a faded echo of MASH's brilliance. It's into relief to preserve the original sanctity. Number 4. Hello, Larry. In 1979, MASH star McLean Stevenson made a catastrophic leap, abandoning Colonel Henry Blake's acclaim for NBC's Hello, Larry, a sitcom about a divorced Portland radio host raising 2 daughters. Intended as heartwarming, its limp writing and flat humor flopped. Initial viewership, drawn by Stevenson's MASH fame, fizzled fast. Critics deemed it lifeless, Johnny Carson mocking it relentlessly on The Tonight Show. By 1980, after 35 episodes across 2 seasons, it ended, TV Guide later ranking it 12th worst ever. Stevenson's career never recovered. His exit from MASH a cautionary tale dubbed Pulling a McLean Stevenson, symbolizing squandered potential amid NBC's late 70s slump, a stark reminder that timing and wit are paramount. Number 3. Life with Lucy. In 1986, at 75, TV titan Lucille Ball emerged from retirement for ABC's Life with Lucy, wielding full creative control. Bypassing pilot testing, ABC banked on her I Love Lucy and The Lucy Show magic, but her 1950s slapstick, nosy grandma antics and pratfalls clashed with the 1980s Cosby Show and Cheers era. The premiere won its slot on curiosity, but viewership tanked. Critics were brutal, The Washington Post calling it embarrassing, The P. Silly,
One
and
reviewer
sad.
from USA
The New
Today,
York Times
Robert
lamenting
Bianco,
its dated
wrote
desperation.
nearly everyone
Only
hated
8 of 13
subject
episodes
on
aired
a lot of
before
people.
November
But
1980
it had none of the
SIXS
charm or
cancellation.
cleverness.
Crushing Ball.
The idea
Who
behind
wept?
the show was
My
two
God,
men pretending
I
to
cried.
be women.
Her legacy is
2012,
sole blemish.
ABC released
Her
a sitcom
outdated
so
teen
strange
and
tone
nostalgia
deaf
reliance
when they
doomed
needed an
it.
example
A
of how
lesson in
bad
timing's
TV could
cruelty.
get.
Rarely
Even the
rerun
surprised.
and quietly
If
forgotten.
anything,
Number
people were
2,
Surprised it
Emily's
wasn't
Reasons
ranked
Why
even
Not.
lower.
In
Homeboys
2006,
in Outer Space was
ABC's
the kind of
colossal
misstep
bet
that
on
haunted
Emily's
them.
Reasons
It
Why
didn't
Not,
just flop.
fronted by
What
Heather
made it
Graham
worse
as a
was
dating
that
challenge
UPN had
self-help
been trying
guru,
something new.
collapsed
It
spectacularly.
only lasted one
Hyped with
season
billboards,
with 21 episodes.
magazine covers, and
He once even
relentless
said it
ads
wasn't
sans a
just
full
bad.
pilot script.
It was confusing.
Its January 9th
Like they
debut
walked
drew
off a hip-hop music
6.2
video.
million
Number
curious
9.
viewers,
Homeboys
only to
in
repel
Outer
them
Space.
with an indecisive
But
tone
because the
and
idea was so
unlikable lead.
ridiculous that
Critics
no one could
savaged
take it
it.
seriously.
The New York Times
It
decried
became a
its
way to describe
unsympathetic
something
heroine,
that
a
never should
rom-com
have
death
happened.
knell, while
Even legend
pro-abstinence
of how
groups
bad it
oddly
was
bristled
kept
at her
growing.
celibacy,
Instead,
alienating all.
he ended up talking
Canceled
to a
post
car
one
for 30
episode,
full
it became a
episodes.
Hollywood jest,
Only the Jerry
one and
Springer
done,
show ranked
with
lower.
promos still
That
touting
wasn't
a
even a
defunct
sitcom.
show. ABC's
Adults
Stephen
watching at the
McPherson
time
admitted the
didn't know
pilot's
whether to laugh
hopelessness.
or
Unaired
change the channel.
episodes exiled abroad.
By the time the
A rare
1960s
single
were
episode
filled
flop
with magical
alongside
and oddball
South of
comedies
Sunset
like
and
Bewitched
Public Morals.
and My
Its
Favorite
hype to
Martian,
crash arc warns of
this one thought it might be
prioritizing
charming.
flash over substance.
Critics thought
Number
it was
1,
something else
Dads.
entirely.
In
A man
2013,
discovers that
Fox
his dead
pinned high
mother has
hopes on
come
Seth
back as a
MacFarlane's
talking car.
Dads,
It was
expecting
called
Family Guy
My
magic.
Mother the Car.
It followed
And
two
started in
video game
September
entrepreneurs whose
1965,
crass fathers
and
invade
failures
their
were so
lives.
legendary,
But its
they're
dated
still
humor,
used as warnings
exemplified by a
decades later.
racist,
Critic numbered
sexy
said it
Asian
was extinct
schoolgirl
on arrival.
gag, repelled
Only
from the
4
September
episodes
premiere.
made it to
Rotten
television.
Tomatoes initial
Another
0%,
terrible concepts.
later 8%,
What
and
happens
Metacritic's
when networks
15,100
bet everything on the
reflected
wrong
critical
ideas?
fury, decrying
Their
the
art
offensive,
pilot had
lazy
included a gallows
jests.
scene.
Fox's ads flaunted scathing quotes to spark
NAACP's
curiosity,
Los Angeles
to no
chapter,
avail.
and many
Despite
part of history
MacFarlane's
should
clout,
ever be made
18
into a joke.
episodes limped
And
through
somehow
one
ended up
season,
working as
one
President
unaired,
Abraham
canceled
Lincoln's
by May
butler.
2014.
The new comedy show
Reviews
was
called it
announced by
instantly
UPN.
stupefying,
Number
with
7.
unlikable
The
leads in a
Secret
time
Diary
warp,
of Desmond
misjudging
Fife. The title alone made
2014's
people
demand
do a
for
double
smarter
take.
comedy.
Two
Dad's
friends
Failure,
failed.
a stark
failed
lesson
in a way
in
that
mistimed
made
shock
people remember
humor,
it for
remains a
decades.
benchmark for TV missteps.
Number tried to be funny.